Have you ever wondered why some people effortlessly foster strong, healthy relationships while others struggle to connect despite having great personalities or even being more empathetic? The answer might surprise you. It's not necessarily about how well you can carry a conversation or how much you are willing to compromise. It's about something often overlooked, yet profoundly impactful: emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions along with recognizing, understanding, and influencing the emotions of others. It's about being consciously aware of our feelings and how they affect our interactions and relationships. It's about understanding the emotions of people around us and responding to them effectively. Have you ever asked yourself, what exactly is this emotional intelligence? Well, experts have outlined 5 key components. Firstly, we have self-awareness. This involves understanding your own emotions, strengths, weaknesses, values, and goals, and recognizing how they affect others. Then there's self-regulation. This involves controlling or redirecting disruptive emotions and impulses, and adjusting to changing circumstances. The third component is motivation, which isn't solely about being appreciated or acknowledged, but having the passion to care for others beyond ourselves. It's about nurturing relationships with energy and persistence. Fourthly, empathy comes into play. It's more than just understanding another person's perspective. It's about appreciating the feelings of others, especially when making decisions that affect them. Lastly, there are social skills, managing relationships to bring people closer, build networks, and find common ground. These 5 components collectively form emotional intelligence. And it's this emotional intelligence that often determines who will and who won't be successful in their personal relationships. The secret to strong, lasting relationships lies not in mere conversation skills, but their EQ, emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. Consider the story of a firefighter who, despite his lack of formal education, saved countless lives and became a local hero. Picture a man with a heart ablaze with courage and compassion, a man whose uniform was not just a symbol of duty, but a beacon of hope for those in distress. This is the tale of a man who didn't need a degree to understand the language of human emotions. He was not a psychologist, nor a psychiatrist. He was a firefighter, a guardian of the community, and an epitome of emotional intelligence. In the face of raging infernos and towering smoke, he remained calm, his composure infectious, spreading to those around him, reducing their panic and giving them the strength to endure. His self-regulation, the ability to manage his emotions even in the most perilous situations, made a world of difference. But it wasn't just his calmness that set him apart. It was his empathy, his ability to understand and share the feelings of others. When he looked into the eyes of a terrified child trapped in a burning building, he saw beyond the fear. He saw the longing for life, the desperate plea for help, and he responded not just as a firefighter, but as a human being. And then there were his social skills. He was a leader, a motivator, a beacon for his team. His words carried weight, his actions inspired, and his spirit ignited a fire within his teammates, pushing them to go beyond their limits, to save lives, to make a difference. His story is a testament to the power of emotional intelligence. It's not always about the certificates on the wall or the accolades on the shelf. Sometimes it's about the courage in your heart, the empathy in your soul, and the understanding in your mind. His story shows us that emotional intelligence isn't just about navigating our own emotions, but also understanding and responding to the emotions of others. The firefighter's story shows us that emotional intelligence can be a lifesaver, literally. Now, let's look at another example. This time, it's about a school teacher who transformed a failing class into top performers. This isn't a superhero tale with capes and masks, but a story of an everyday hero. A teacher with a superpower called emotional intelligence. This teacher, let's call her Miss Smith, walked into a classroom filled with students who had been labeled as underachievers. The previous semester, their grades were as low as their spirits. But Miss Smith didn't see failures. She saw potential. Armed with self-awareness, she began her journey by acknowledging her own biases and preconceived notions about teaching. She challenged herself to view each student not as a grade in her register, but as an individual with unique strengths and weaknesses. Next, she used her skills of empathy to understand the struggles her students were facing. She knew that behind every low grade there was a story, A story of a student battling personal challenges, dealing with a difficult home environment, or simply lacking the motivation to learn. She listened to their stories, not as a judge, but as a friend, as a guide. Then came the motivation. Miss Smith believed that motivation, like laughter, is contagious. She started by motivating herself, setting personal goals, and striving to reach them. This energy was felt by her students. She showed them that learning wasn't just about getting good grades, but about growing as individuals. She created a positive learning environment where mistakes were not failures, but opportunities to learn. Where every question was appreciated and every answer was applauded. This environment didn't just foster academic growth, but also emotional growth. By the end of the semester, the once failing class was now a class of high achievers. Grades had improved, but more importantly, so had the students' self-esteem and love for learning. This isn't just a story of a teacher turning a class around. It's a testament to the power of emotional intelligence. Miss Smith didn't just teach her students. She understood them, motivated them, and helped them believe in themselves. This teacher's story demonstrates that emotional intelligence can unlock the potential in others. You might be wondering, can I improve my emotional intelligence? The answer is a resounding yes. Just like any other skill, emotional intelligence can be improved with purposeful practice and a little bit of patience. So, let's dive into some ways you can enhance your emotional intelligence. First off, practicing self-reflection is incredibly important. This involves taking the time to sit with your emotions, recognize them, and understand why you're feeling them. Are you frustrated because you're overwhelmed at work? Are you anxious because you're unsure about a big decision? By understanding our own emotions, we can better navigate them and, in turn, understand the emotions of those around us. Next, managing stress is a key component of emotional intelligence. It's not about eliminating stress entirely, that's impossible. Instead, it's about developing healthy coping mechanisms. This could be anything from deep breathing exercises to a brisk walk or even a few minutes of mindfulness. The aim is to maintain balance and not let stress dictate your emotional state. Now, developing empathy is another significant step towards enhancing your emotional intelligence. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and seeing the world from their perspective. This is not only beneficial for your relationships, but it also fosters a sense of compassion and kindness. Lastly, improving communication skills is crucial. This means listening actively, expressing yourself clearly, and responding to others in a respectful and understanding manner. Good communication is the bedrock of emotional intelligence. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level and navigate our relationships more effectively. Improving your emotional intelligence is a journey, but one that can lead to personal and professional success. Remember, it's not about achieving perfection, but about growing, learning, and striving to understand ourselves and others better. So we've explored the power of emotional intelligence through real-life stories and identified ways to enhance it. Now, let's take a moment to recap what we've learned and understand the key takeaways. Emotional intelligence, remember, is not just about being aware of our own emotions, but also about understanding and effectively managing the emotions of others. This seemingly simple concept is, in fact, a multifaceted skill composed of four main components: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. We journeyed through a tale of an unexpected hero who, through his emotional intelligence, navigated complex social situations with grace and empathy. This story illustrated the immense power of emotional intelligence in enabling us to connect with others on a deeper level, even in challenging circumstances. Next, we met an empathetic teacher who demonstrated how emotional intelligence can transform the learning environment. Her ability to understand and respond to her students' emotions created a nurturing space where learning thrived. This highlighted how emotional intelligence can positively influence not just individual relationships, but entire communities. We then delved into practical ways to enhance our emotional intelligence. Practicing mindfulness, fostering empathy, and cultivating a positive mindset are all key strategies to develop this invaluable skill. Remember, it's a journey, not a destination, and every step you take towards enhancing your emotional intelligence is a step towards a more fulfilling and connected life. So, why is emotional intelligence so important? It's because it helps us build stronger relationships, make better decisions, and lead a more balanced life. It's a skill that can truly transform lives and relationships, as we've seen in the stories we shared today. Remember, emotional intelligence is not just about understanding our own emotions, but also the ability to understand and respond to the emotions of others. It's a skill that can transform lives and relationships. So, start your journey today.